Hello all and welcome back to another instalment of my uni experience. We are in our 4th chapter now of this year, of the ongoing series that I've been running. While I have your attention, I want you to look in the comments below this video. It doesn't exist yet because I haven't edited it, but it'll exist by the time you've seen this. And I want you to comment hi or your favourite vegetable, I don't know. But the reason is because pinned there will be timestamps for each thing that I talk about, each topic. Some topics will be more boring or interesting than others. But let's begin. So where are we in terms of uni? Well, as of writing this, it's January the 21st, so it's scary to think that Christmas was almost a month ago. I've had my second payment from Student Finance Wales, only to have 2/3 of it robbed from me on rent. We did go out for food to Italia, us in our student accommodation cluster, but we didn't get a group photo, so that didn't happen. It just didn't happen. It's been a busy few weeks, mostly in a good way. We have had a few marks back too. We're down to 2 modules a week now. We've got our theatre festival module and our facilitation lessons module. So let's chat about them. So our facilitation lessons, applied drama lessons, will be culminating in us running these group workshops for children in the valleys. I don't know why I'm pointing that way, I don't know if the valleys is that way or not. But we'll be facilitating a session for them, like in groups, doing games and acting stuff with them. Initially, I was very sceptical about this module because I didn't get how applied drama is going to be relevant to theatre and acting, but I can kind of see how it would help you with presenting and hosting things, as well as teaching as well, because I might end up going into teaching. But I'm enjoying it, you know. I started a group document for us. My group is me, Levi and Vic. To add to, as and when we need to add stuff to include, like research and whatnot. Earlier on in the year, we were told that the group we would be facilitating earlier on in the year, we were told the group that we'd be facilitating, and on the 14th of January, we had a Zoom call with them here in my accommodation. They told us about the place and offered us our pre-assessment visit and actual facilitation day to be on the 6th and 20th of February. We'll get to see the people that we'll be working with, and we'll be able to tweak our plan as and when is needed. Like, for example, I don't know, you're not going to be playing leapfrog if they're in wheelchairs and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to work. So you got to change your plan depending on the group you're working with. Anyway, we're still working on all this, and we're making part of our facilitation themed around the performance that they're making for their community, which is pirate themed, which is quite wholesome, really. It's going to be fun. There's not too much to add about this, apart from the fact that in the breaks of our lessons, a handful of us play with a ball, like a frisbee, from the cupboard of the room that we're in. It started off with this like large foam ball that was in the cupboard, but at some point that vanished. It was quite sad, really. There was one lesson we couldn't do anything in the break. And at this point, it's become tradition to play catch. So we needed a new game. And we started using this lid of something as a frisbee, and we would just play catch with that. But that came to an end when me and Henry went to town to buy a small ball. And it said 125 on the tag, but it actually cost 75p. So bargain. Saved 50p with that. But on the trip that me and Henry went on our way back, we had some man call us over. I think he was Indian. I'm not sure. I'm not even going to attempt an accent. But he goes, pointing to me. He looks like this star, and he's holding this like small post-it note, post-it note thing, or maybe postcard thing, with this star, and it has the eyes looking like the epic emoji. And the man goes, "How many girlfriends have you got?" To which the answer has been a solid 0 for the last decade. I've got that streak of being single. But Henry goes, "No, I'm his lover." And the man just looked shocked, like baffled, and said nothing as we walked away. quite think he could comprehend it. But our fun breaks with the ball were restored. These ball breaks are like the pinnacle of the week. They're a happy time to enjoy and to just disconnect from the swimming, but to disconnect from the online world and regain that basic instinct to play catch. There's not more to mention on this other than it's a blast. It's really fun. Next is the Theatre Festival module, which there isn't really a lot to say about this, apart from the fact that we're going to be performing in front of an audience, in public, for this festival called Immersed. And there's a given theme, which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say or not, so I won't. We haven't started this yet, but we've been having lessons. We've been practicing reading scripts and breaking down characters and learning like acting techniques and stuff. So it's been quite fun actually. I've really enjoyed it, and actually learning acting techniques and stuff as opposed to just assuming you know and getting on with stuff. So yeah, I've really enjoyed these lessons lately. It's been very educational. There's not much more to mention on this for now, so I'll come back to it in a future video. We have had some marks back for stuff we did though, like the essay and the work in progress performance that I mentioned in parts 2 and 3. The essay that I did was on the representation of Welsh people in classic and modern Doctor Who, which is a topic I'm very passionate on, I would say. Just Doctor Who in general, really. It's quite crippling, actually. But our class were told that we were going to do a mini PowerPoint explaining one main point from each of our essays and to talk about what you talked about to practice public speaking. This was unmarked, right? But it was good practice. I didn't mind doing it. I mean, hell, the more attention I get, the better when it comes to performing and all that, But I think it should have been, even if just a small part of our mark and our grade. I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but that's my stance on it. But me and Owen decided to do a PowerPoint together because our topics were similar. He did his on Welsh Doctor Who filming locations, which I was going to do initially, but I cut it down for the word count. I rather enjoyed doing our PowerPoint. On this day I discovered how absolutely gorgeous I look in a pink wig too. So our lecturer wanted us to do these PowerPoint before we found out our mark, and so he only sent out the marks for those who were in for the mini PowerPoint. We did these PowerPoints on the 14th of January, which was the lesson before our facilitation Zoom call that I mentioned earlier. And we had our marks back in the evening of the 17th of January, so only 5 days ago as of recording this, right? It's the 22nd today, which is quite scary. I had a look online. Time always seems to go by really slowly when trying to see my marks. But I had 70 marks, which I was very happy about. It's a first, so a great start. Remember, this is my first mark that actually counts towards my degree. So this was brilliant news. We also had our marks back for the work in progress performance, which was a bit dodgy. I didn't have high hopes for this mark. Put it this way, the work in progress mark, so if it was our final performance, I would not have felt satisfied. Although this was partly not our fault. For like 3 weeks, we had to focus solely on a small aspect of our performance. A 10-minute part of our then 40-minute performance, which we ultimately cut down to 30 minutes. But I digress. Anyway, we had a group mark of 70. So I've had 2 70s, which is excellent news. I think we all pulled our weight to create our piece that we did, especially given the circumstances that we had. Although, this mark is the general group mark for our performance, not the individual ones that we'll get, which could fluctuate. But we've yet to get these back though. And we've also yet to get reimbursed for the costumes and stuff that we bought. But there we go. I've also had my marks back for the bonus Welsh module that I did. Last year I got £250 for doing it, but this time I didn't get chosen for the scholarship. but I did the module nonetheless because I thought it would be good Welsh practice, and it's good to keep in touch with the Welsh lot for opportunities and stuff, you know. It's best to keep in touch with them. I had my marks back for the PowerPoint oracy that I did before Christmas, and I had 63 marks. It's a 2-1, so I was really impressed with that. It doesn't count towards the main degree, but it's a nice little bonus, you know. Do as much as you can while you're in uni. I checked, and I don't know why, but I've never mentioned doing this mini Welsh module in part 1, 2 or 3. No, part 1, 2 or 3. I've never mentioned it, but I don't know. It's done for the year now. I'm not getting paid for it, but it's over, and yeah. Speaking of Welsh though, last video I mentioned how I applied for the Coleg Cymraeg Cenedlaethol to be an ambassador. I didn't get chosen. They said I was very good, but they had loads of applicants and to try next year. I was a bit disheartened about this, but I suppose it's to be expected, you know. So yeah, that's that covered from last video. I nearly forgot to, but when I was looking back from parts 1, 2 or 3 for the Welsh thing, I remembered I got to cover it. And on the topic of ambassadorships, quite a few of us went out for a night drink on the 10th of January. This is relevant, I promise. I dressed in my finest clothes that I have in my accommodation, and we had prees in our flat kitchen, accommodation kitchen. Not really a flat, but we had these lights going on for the aesthetic, and I was loving it, trying to ignore being blinded by the lights. I couldn't get too drunk on this though, because I had an ambassador shift at 8:30 the following day. So anyway, in the kitchen I had quite a bit to drink. I had some VK stuff, lovely fruit, alcohol drinks, sours, and the god-awful stuff that Christian had. I'm not sure what it was, but I was drinking, I was enjoying the music, especially when I actually recognised the song. And by 11:30, we left the kitchen to go to our first club that we went to. I don't know the name of it, but someone who was there will probably be able to comment the names of the places we went to. Please do that. But yeah, it was... I don't remember much else. When I'm making these videos, I rely on the photos and the videos that I took to recreate the event, you know, spark my memory back. But I know that we went to another club where Levi danced with a random stranger, having a whale of a time apparently, whilst we were there just baffled. The second club wasn't really for me, not a fan of it, I gotta be honest. And then for the end, we went to a final place that was like ridiculously overpacked and you couldn't move without being nudged and barged and whatnot. So we left. I think we ended up finishing at about 3 AM in the morning. We were quite hungry, so some people went to McDonald's using my employee discount, and then they went back here. But me, Christian and Liara went to the kebab place. But only me and Christian actually had a kebab. Liara went to McDonald's, which came with anyway. I had a kebab wrap, which I thoroughly enjoyed. We walked Liara back home, and then me and Christian also came back here. It was a fun night out, you know. I started off quite tipsy in the kitchen and the first pub, but then as it went on, I think I got more sober. But at the start, brilliant, I was having the time of my life. I got into my accommodation for 3:30 and I slept about 4 o'clock and I was perfectly awake for the next day. Is what I want to say. I had 4 hours of sleep and I was dead inside. I was questioning my sanity and regretting the life choices that put me in this position. Right, but nonetheless, I go and I do my ambassador shift. In fact, right, I would say I've had the most authentic experience as an ambassador for what student life is like. Even if it was agony. I did my job, and quite well, I think. I woke up gradually before we started. He was like, ugh. But I got on with it like the trooper I am. That was 2 weeks ago, so it's scary, seriously scary to think of how quickly time goes by. Next, because we don't have any scripts to learn at the moment, I've been applying for loads of student short films and actual productions. I've been turned down by a few, but I actually did get a handful of them. One mini student documentary on homelessness, a paid advert for home learning education, and we finally finished filming the audio drama that I won the audition for back in September, the Doctor Who one. I really enjoyed doing extra drama, like filming and projects and stuff, because I think that uni time is the best time to do them. You know, it makes sense to get as much experience as you can, like a magpie with shiny things while you're in uni. And I think I'm definitely like a magpie when it comes to experiences in general. Like, if something even looks interesting or could be fun, or hell, I might get a funny story out of it, I will try or just do it. The worst thing that can happen is that I embarrass myself, but I already do that on a daily basis anyway, so it doesn't matter. The next thing I want to immortalise is going to see Sonic 3 in the cinema with Tyler, Loki, Tom and Matthew. We all went on the 22nd of December. Me and Loki bought Tyler his Christmas present. There's some Funko Pops of Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. I don't really get them, but it was them, and we went to Spoons. We had some food before the others arrived. I had a lovely book from Tyler as well for Christmas, about 60 crucial moments from Doctor Who. The others had their food. Matthew thought that the £5 wings on the menu would just grant him one singular wing, so he bought 2 lots. He tried eating them all, but we had to go to the cinema, we didn't have time. So he was in Spoons trying to wrap 9 chicken wings into a napkin to bring to the cinema. And if that wasn't hilarious and baffling enough, he ended up chucking them in the bin outside the cinema. Like, what? He paid £10 for what he thought was 2 pieces of chicken, and he still chucked them in the bin. I thought I'd be prepared for anything the world could throw at me, but apparently not. That's baffling to me. Anyway, we arrive at the cinema. I get a lovely box of popcorn, the slush and chocolate box thing you get for £6.50 odd, and we go in. When I go to the cinema, I love watching the pre-movie adverts and trailers that you can see, that you watch in the very comfy chairs, you know, with the button you can press on the side. You can just chill. And at one point, one of the adverts came on for some Actimel Sonic the Hedgehog yogurts. If I can find the clip, I'll play it now.
Twoja rodzina piła Actimel. Teraz z bohaterami z serii Sonic. Limitowana edycja z loterią, w której możesz zawalczyć o konsolę i tysiące innych nagród. Actimel. Wspieraj odporność z marką
That advert plays, and then in between that and the next one, all you could hear is, wow. From some kid. Me and Loki were pissing ourselves. It was the funniest thing. It was dead silent, and that kid just goes, wow. It was so funny. For like a solid 5 or 10 minutes before that film started, we were sniggering and laughing. It's probably not even that funny now, but it's just how mesmerised that kid was. And just the fact that it was the only noise you could hear in the cinema for like a split second. Oh, it was classic. It was so funny at the time. But yeah, so eventually the film starts, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. We watched 1 out of 2 of the end film credits, thinking that there was only one. So we had to watch the final one on YouTube, because apparently there's 2 now. One during the credits and one after them, which was baffling to me, but there we go. After we watched, we left the cinema and we go home. We say our goodbyes. They walked or got the bus. I parked at the train station, so I had to walk there, and I drove back home. That was a brilliant Christmas present for me, being able to see the gang, you know, I really enjoyed it. And the penultimate thing I'm going to be mentioning was when my accommodation cluster, most of us, went ice skating here in Cardiff on the 13th of January. I was terrified because I hadn't been ice skating for I think since I was 8, I was very little actually. No, nonetheless, I thought it would be an interesting experience, and I went with 5 others in my cluster. We walked there, which took about 40 minutes, I think, and we were there for about 2 hours. I had full intentions of hiring one of them penguin support things, but I couldn't. We got our ice skates, and it was terrifying. I forgot how to walk initially, because you're walking on 2 blades, so it's like walking on that, but thinner than that. Especially balance-wise, it was terrifying. But slowly but surely I was getting it. We put our stuff into a locker, and we head on in. Most of us had not been for years, right? But somehow, most of them picked it up like that in 5 minutes. Whereas it took me at least 15 minutes to just get off the rails from the side. Because I couldn't do it. I was scared I'd fall, right? And this is how imaginative my brain is. I thought I'd fall, and then someone would come over and slice my fingers off. Or I'd get a blade to the body or something. As if I was creating my own Final Destination movie or something. I was terrified. Just the idea makes me cringe, you know. It's a flinch. It's horrible. I didn't want to hold the others back though, so they went off and did their own thing. I told them not to worry about me, I'll pick it up. And gradually in the 2 hours, I got a little bit better. I was able to slowly skate without holding on to the rails, albeit quite slowly, but never as fast as the others, so often they would lap me. But it was a start, right? I was slowly getting it, building up speed, then just sort of spinning in circles without meaning to stop. Oh, that's on video. I think here's a side. We did a photo as well, of course we did. But someone else had to take it on my phone because I couldn't set the 10-second timer and then be back in time into position for the photo. I don't remember who did it, but yeah. Later on, we gave the boots back in, we got our stuff, I bought us an Uber because we were all exhausted. It was a nice trip, quite nostalgic to try ice skating again, but I don't think I'd like to go again for the foreseeable future. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but I think one trip per decade works for me. You know, I could quite happily live the rest of my life without ice skating again. And the last thing I want to talk about is the arts taster session that I went to on the 21st of January. It's currently 4 AM on the 22nd as I write this. I remember recording a little thing. We had our lesson 2 till 5 on the day, and then I had a little taster session, which was run by someone I did a short film with 4 years ago, and who went to the same acting club as me and other people. I really enjoyed it, right? When I first saw arts as in, creative arts, as in theatre and drama, as in acting, but I was wrong. I did know a little bit beforehand that it was an arts and craft type thing, after a small chat, but it was still a nice surprise, you know. I went and we did some ink printing, I made some Doctor Who themed stuff, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I made some masterpieces.
Modern art! Out of the way, that's it! Oh, Rhombus, I'm a little bit peckish. Get me some ants and honey, there's a good lad. What do you think?
and I can honestly say that Van Gogh has got nothing on me. It's currently up on our accommodation fridge, on one of our fridges. We got two. But it was nice to meet the new people, and also some who went to my acting club. We had tea, we did our art, we chatted. It was really nice, you know. It was a nice little unplug from online stuff. Just being able to chill for a bit. It was nice. Very, very cathartic. Once everyone else had left, it was just me then, and we were talking about my acting club that I was at for 11 years, and how I was in a short film with one of the owners 4 years ago. And this short film went on to win loads of festival awards. I'll put a link to it in the YouTube video, in the comments or the description somewhere, right? They offered me as well, if I get it. They offered me, bless them, a DVD version of the short film, which was fab. Seeing my name on a DVD cover, I don't know if you can see it very well like that, but seeing my name on a DVD cover felt weird, but it made me rather proud, you know. I love it. I'm going to do a rewatch of it at some point, and I'm going to treasure this. I'm very grateful to have this. Yeah. Eventually I had to get the train back to Cardiff, I went to the gym, and then I started writing this. It was a really productive day. No, I really enjoyed it. It was a nice treat and a good digital detox, I think. No screens, just art, and just some good old chatting, you know. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure if it's every Tuesday or not, but I'd love to go again. They do have a film club, but it's every Thursday, and I've got the Theatre and Drama Society, which, by the way, that's going to be any time soon now. But this video's getting long enough, and there's not much to say about that here though, so I won't in this one, but definitely in part 5 though. I'm actually not sure what time it is. Hey Alexa, what time is it?
Good evening, Jamie. The time is 5:46 p.m.
Okay. So there you have it. It's been a busy last month. It's scary to think we're almost a month. 1/12 of the new year is already gone. But how's your uni / college / school / work stuff going? If you're in my uni, do you have anything that I've missed out, or that I've left out I should have mentioned? Either in the comments or I should mention it in part 5. But until then, that is the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Have a good day. Don't forget to drink hot chocolate. Stay safe. Yeah, I want to use that one. Oh no, I've messed this up. And from me, it is goodbye for now. Woo! I don't want to go to work. Can't be asked. But money's nice, so. I don't know what they've done to this elevator, but it fucking stinks. It smells like someone's shot themselves. So I don't know if it's like, if they use dirty water to clean it, someone did shit themselves or what, but it smells like absolute shit. Fair enough. That's definitely on fire.